Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell notification so you miss any of our reviews. We want to talk a little bit about Shaq and Kirsten today, about this whole house situation, house gate, whatever you want to call it, from this past episode of Married at First Sight. Give you a little backdrop on this before I get into the meat of it. Kirsten and Shaq was touring a home that she was selling. It was a nice, beautiful home worth $2.9 million. We find out a little bit later. She takes Shaq around this house. They tour the house, view the house, talk about kids running around the house and doing all that. How this would be a great house for them or a great house to have one day. Then they get into a conversation. Here about the home. About marriage and about the future, about their relationship, about the kids. And then Kirsten drops the bombshell on Shaq with the comment. She said, if this marriage continue, you have to buy us a house.
Continue this marriage, you have to get us a house.
Didn't sit well with Shaq, right? First of all, first thing is I got in my mind when I caught it was like, you telling the man that he has to buy us a house, right? That you have to buy us a house. And not that we're going to buy this house together, not that we're going to get on this deed together, not we're going to take care of our finances and we're going to do what we need to do to make sure that we can purchase a house. Is know that you have to buy us a house if we continue this marriage. Shaq was taken aback about this, right? Several reasons he was taken back because of this, or several reasons he had an attitude about this. First of all, you're not going to tell a guy what he has to do or what he should be doing or what he needs to do. That to him challenges his manhood. Several ways that she could have said it. Hey, by the way, can we get a house later? Can we purchase a house? Can we make sure things are taken care of? And Shaq goes on and say, but by him challenging her man, she demanded when we continue this marriage that you're going to buy us a house. And he was like, me alone, aren't you gonna be on this deed? And she was like, oh nah. He like, where they do that at? She like, marriages do that all the time. Really? Maybe some of the marriages she see. Maybe some of the people that she sells a house to. Maybe it does. I don't know, but not too many marriages that I know that he do that all the time. But Shaq goes in to talk about, look, I still have student loan debt, which I think is like, for him to say that and for him to go move into that realm was great. It shows his financial responsibility. It shows that he wants to take care of his financial responsibilities before he adds any more other debt onto him, right? Any more things that he may not be able to take care of. He want to make sure that he's taking his student loan is taken care of. Not saying that you can't buy a house while you got student loans. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that he's trying to be responsible. He want to make sure that he's not house poor. Want to make sure that's something he can afford. Want to make sure he keeps his finances in check. And also want to make sure that the family's taken care of. Second thing is, I'm thinking, like, you guys just now started to get on a good footing, starting to get on a good page, a good pace, and you're talking about a house already. 8 weeks in, getting ready 8 weeks, do you need to move a house? Live in your apartment. Are you tired of is she tired of her bland apartment that she has? Or she can move into Shaq's apartment until they get financially secure. I also believe that they haven't talked about finances yet in this situation. My man may not be able to afford a $2.9 million home that she's looking for, and a house that she's looking for. There need to be some more deeper conversations in this relationship. The biggest thing is that she's demanding him having to buy a house. I think that turned him off right there when she said he had to do it. It would turn most guys off and shut most guys down, because again, she feels that she doesn't have to do it. Later on, we get into the conversation that she talks about she was just playing, she was just joking. It wasn't joking at all. There was no joking about this conversation at all. There was no ha ha he he moments. She was 100% serious about him buying the house. Reason that she was 100% serious about him buying the house, because what we saw in the middle of the episode let you know that she was 100% serious about him buying the house, was because that's what she saw growing up, right? That's what her dad did. That's what her dad did for her mom and her sister. Her dad took care of everything. Her dad paid for everything. Her dad provided for everything. He paid for the house. And that's fine. That's how your dad and your mom moved into a relationship. Does not mean that's how her and Shaq should move in their relationship based off your. Everybody didn't come from that, right? Everybody doesn't see that in their home. Everybody don't do that. Some people believe that we should be able to do this thing together. We're better together. Not that it should be one person's responsibility, and all that pressure should be put on the man. All that pressure should be put on him to take care of all and meet all the needs. What happens to your independence, right? What happens to where you're at when you're married, or what happens to yourself in this situation if he does that? Because it can go south, right? Let's say Shaq does put everything in his name. Shaq does everything. He buys the house. He puts it in his name. He does all that. I know she says she wants to be on the deed, right? But he does all that. He doesn't put her on the deed, but he buys the house. They get into an argument. They get into a divorce. They get into a situation. They stay in Tennessee. I don't know the laws of Tennessee, but he decides, you know what? I need to kick you out. You need to take all your stuff, and you need to get out of my house. That's a bad situation to be at. To say that you have no equity, you have no footing, you have no money, you didn't invest anything into it. That he purchased the house. That's his home. So again, there's a dynamic to this thing that she may not be looking into if he decides to buy the house by himself outright. She should be looking at him. How can we grow together? It's so many ways that she could have said this that would have made him feel relaxed, made him feel relieved, would have made him feel as if we're doing this thing together. She didn't do that, and she came off demanding. She came off kind of rude, came off condescending, came off like, this is what you're going to do, and this is what you have to do for me. That is not the way that you ask a man to do things. And she, again, goes back to the fact that they're not communicating properly about serious things. And then she tried to laugh off and play. Now, Shaq himself, in this situation, you know, when they was in the kitchen, he got a little bit petty. In different aspects of this situation, in the conversation, talking about the Mercedes, when they talked about Mercedes and the Lamborghini, he talked about that. Look, he wants to make sure that this is a good relationship. He wants to make sure that their marriage is built on something found and something strong, and not always giving her what she wants. He said basically, if you don't get what you want, you shut down. You don't get what you want. Everybody's always giving you what you want, and you can't handle it. And he's the type of guy that he's not going to give her what she wants. He's going to think about it. He's going to be calculating about it. He's going to figure out if it's best for them. And she may have to understand that in this marriage. So they have a lot of things to discuss, a lot of things to talk about, and see if it can work out. I'm just at the point where she needs to understand that he is not her father, right? He's not your dad. Matter of fact, how can he hasn't even seen your dad. You haven't even brought him around any family, right? She mentioned on the after party that he talked to her dad on the phone. He wants to see him, right? He wants to have a conversation with him. He wants to know how to take care of you. And one way he may not be able to live up to your father's expectations or live up to your expectations of him when you look at your dad. He's not your father. And I think that's one of the biggest issues here. She wanted him to do what her father did, and Shaq's not your dad. You guys let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Should the man buy the whole house? Should it be a joint effort from husband and wife that they should do this thing together? Was Kirsten wrong for coming at Shaq like that? Was she playing? Let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews or our short videos. All right, have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.